And I want to bring up another potential series on the horizon that I have high hopes for after the positivity of, well, the
relative positivity.
The relative positivity. I'll outright
best they could
say
hope
it.
for, honestly.
I'll outright say it. Avatar, The Last Airbender, not the other Avatar, but Avatar series. They're thinking of doing it, obviously more aligned with Korra, and sort of the future where they now view the Avatar as a destroyer rather than bringing all of the elements together to save the world, because it's post everything that's happened before. So to me, the description already really does sound, I think I joked about it before, I definitely have, the gritty CW remake of like post-Avatar world where we hate the Avatar now.
Wait, is that, okay, and forgive me because you're the expert on this topic, because more than I
don't
when
know
I was a
about that.
kid, when the original series came out, I watched the first book.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So I've been
You
following.
only watched Air?
I've been following, you know, especially in pop culture, the popularity. I've always been a contrarian little piece of shit. So like, yeah, I wasn't super into Avatar when it came out, or it's kind of cult following. I'm thinking of the Avatar as a cute little Aang, like genuine and earnest, and like super. Does he become like the god of destruction at the end? Like, what the fuck happens?
So no, the series itself, no. But then the Legend of Korra came out, which followed Korra.
Yeah.
And then
I thought it followed. Sorry.
Shut up. But Aang wasn't a part of that. Like he was separate from that. And then this series, supposedly, this would even be post Korra. So this is something that we don't know about yet. But it's a future where the people view the Avatar as a destroyer, which in my mind is sort of like it's an interesting take, because it's future civilizations looking at the past, which I assume are like the ruins of different cities and the writings of these different clans and elements that were once separated, then came together, then separated again.
And history is written by the victors, so maybe some anti-Avatar faction
Fire Nation, you know.
Burned a bunch of books.
So, there you go. So it's sort of an interesting viewpoint. I'm curious what it's going to be like. Also, if the Avatar is not the main protagonist, or maybe the future Avatar will be the main protagonist, but they don't know who it is yet.
So is the Avatar, I'm sorry for asking so many questions. I feel like watching a movie with my mom. But is the Avatar immortal? Like, it's not the same Avatar, is it?
No,
Or
it's a different Avatar that's transferred. So the way the Avatar, in my knowledge of, which I'm
sorry to put you on the spot.
Could be wrong. But the way the Avatar works is that there is a new Avatar.
Okay.
Because if we remember from the series and from the television series, which the Avatar can sort of mind link and go and meditate and see all the past avatars and learn from them. And that was sort of the thing with the series. They made it pretty like a highway to the Avatar talking to the other avatars. In the animated series, it's really not like that. It's more dreamlike.
I read the book version of Avatar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it went by a different title, the New Testament.
Shut up. Shut up.
Go on, I'm listening.
I mean, it is kind of biblical. Like
obviously,
and it's like more like Buddhism, you know, with the meditation and stuff.
Christ imagery is in so many films that are amazing. I'm not shitting on that.
The arrow is so close to being a cross.
Green Mile is one of my favorite movies, and the character's name is literally JC, John Coffey. It's so fucking on the nose.
The plague coming out of his mouth or whatever.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He has the locust comes out of his mouth.
Well, I knew that part.
The two prisoners on each side of him, one is like actually good, one of them is pure evil.
To JC because I, of course, did it with John Connor.
Taking out the big hammer.
And that's another one.
Hitting us.
You know what? Fuck you. I just realized that. I never knew that.
Wait, from what?
John Connor, Terminator, JC. I never made that connection.
Is he meant to be Jesus?
He's the savior of humanity.
But they say savior. So
Yeah.
say that.
What about?
I mean, that's Green Mile. It's like the whole movie is religious imagery.
John Carpenter's mom.
Connor.
I said Carpenter because Jesus is a carpenter.
I mean, hey.
John Connor's
Great director.
John Connor's mom, Sarah. She was first though, and her name means nothing.
Well, her conception was immaculate. It was a man from the future that came and impregnated her, and Now it's all
You
coming
guys-
together. Now it's all coming together.
You guys are too much. The biblical references aside, I am curious because, I think in the series traditionally it's sort of like Aang happened to be the Avatar at that time, but he will age. He's not immortal. Like he does grow up and then he'll die, but the Avatar will be passed on to somebody else. So this begs the question: what was going on in that time period leading up to it? What
I
were you
actually
gonna
played
say?
that video game.
What video game?
It went by a different title though. The Legend of Zelda.
I'm gonna punch you. If I could kick you under the table, I would, but I can't. There's something blocking my legs. But yeah, I don't know. I think also this new series. I don't know if it's live action.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's animated. I mean, if it's animated, are you back in? Would you check it out or?
I feel like I still have the original series to watch. First and foremost. But
Are you ever gonna do it? Be honest.
if I'm incentivized to do so.
If you have like the flu for 2 weeks or something, maybe.
Or like if someone's like, "Hey, you're gonna have to talk about Avatar. We'll pay you."
Looks like we gotta get on it.
No.
Avatar episode.
I've heard such great things, and what I really like to do when I'm like, especially when I'm bored, is go back and I'm like, oh, I'm out of rabbit holes, is find a classic.
Yeah.
And especially if it's usually movies, but if I have like a stretch of time, it's a show. And genuinely, Avatar: The Last Airbender is on that list of shows.
I'm saying we're moving towards retro, and you're so into that. You love the classics.
That's the scary thing, though. It's like I remember when Avatar came out, and the fact that it's retro television at this point is kind of mind blowing.
I know.
The test of time, it's something I talk about a lot. I think it's a great test, and clearly it's passed
The
it. So
test of time. I think it's a great test.
Yeah, and then hey, if I'm really into the series and then into the other series, but we were talking. You're not sure if it's live action. Neither am I. I could do my research, but
yeah,
I do want to talk about the live action adaptation now that we're kind of a year out of it.
We should touch
2
on
years now,
the
almost.
show now,
Right.
and the success or lack thereof.
I mean, I feel, again, and I said it at the time, it was kind of the best response they could have hoped for because it was a very uphill battle after the Shyamalan adaptation and such a beloved franchise. And honestly, I heard mixed to positive reviews of it, which honestly I think is the best. Yeah, they could have made a masterpiece and had all. It's possible, but honestly, I kind of thought it was going to fall flat on its face. So
I watched all of it for research purposes.
Does it cover the whole show, or?
Yeah, in a very speedy way. Because
Got it.
that's the thing. The show also, like, obviously you can take your time with more characters. You get to know the nation, like the different nations more. Because in the show they travel to a lot more village, like many, many more characters are seen.
Yeah.
But they hit the big ones on the live adaptation. The thing that they really sped up is sort of Aang's growth, because it's a coming of age story about Aang, a kid who basically gets thrust into the Avatar position and has to grow up really fast and make these big decisions. And he's like 12.
Right.
And there's no good way to do that meaningfully in such a short amount of time. So they sort of, with the meditation to the other avatars, in the animated show, it was much more complicated. Like, he couldn't just talk to them. He was really struggling. He was like, I need your help. And like, they wouldn't be there for him. In the live action show, he would just like meditate for like 5 seconds and then he would basically astral project, leave his body, and then like walk over to an avatar and be like, what am I supposed to do?
Sure.
And they would give him advice.
I'm almost impressed by the restraint of it's a double-edged sword, because I think they're hedging their bets more than anything, where they decided to truncate the show and kind of speed things along. Because we were talking about Harry Potter yesterday. It's like, oh, they're going to stretch that 7th movie into 2. They're going to milk this puppy as long as they can.
Yeah, and we've talked about this too. Like, ending a show after, 10 episodes or whatever can be fine.
Oh, and I'm a miniseries guy because I like a beginning,
8
middle, and an end.
episodes.
No, I mean, but again, for story structure, call me old school, but like my problem with television, I prefer movies over television because there's a vision that is completed. With TV, it's all about, oh, we got to get renewed for another season. So it's TV is an exercise in writing for a story that can never end. And it's always something else and always something else. And there's never a satisfying conclusion. Whereas miniseries is the same as movie. You have beginning, middle, and end, and that's, I'm sorry, it's tried and true for a reason. But anyway, I'm impressed by the restraint and also curious why they didn't just go, book 1 as like a season 1 and kind of expand it.
Yeah.
And now I feel like they're almost maybe they weren't predicting a big success because they're caught off guard, and now they're like, "Oh fuck!"
Well, now we got to come up with another
we got
one.
to do Legend of Korra, and that's all assuming this is the same kind of creators as the original. That
I'm curious if it. Yeah, we'll have to wait for new information to come out. My only fear is because it's the future now and it's post Korra.
Oh, because they're not adapting Legend of Korra. They're just skipping ahead. Interesting.
This is after that.
So this is totally original.
Totally original.
Story. Okay.
I'm fearful that they're gonna go like too future and do like steampunk. You know, like it's just gonna
everything's covered in chrome.
No, not even. Just like everything's like brass. They're gonna go like full steampunk because that's sort of the vibe of some of the inventions and tinkering and stuff, which is fun mixed with the magical elements. But I'm afraid they're going to be like, and we've got trains now, and we're doing. I've got my top hat, and it's just like, what are we doing? Sure. Where's the show going? That's my only fear. There's part of a magic to like the simplicity of the earlier Avatar stuff because it was not even like Edo period Japan. It doesn't really exist in a time, but it wasn't modern.
All I remember is is just ice because I didn't get past the book. It was Book of Water was the first one, right?
You're right. It was water. Because
but I remember the rocks. I remember they got to like the rock people like throwing rocks around.
Yes.
I think it was still book 1. That was basically as far as I got. And the Fire Nation was all mean because they have scars on their face, and that's how you know.
That's how you
they're
know.
Bad.
You're doing a really good job of describing Avatar, better than most. But yeah, we'll see as more information comes out. I am curious. I'll watch it for research. When it comes out, I'll do it. I'll take one for the team, and I'll let you guys know.
I'll watch a little more of the original series.
You should watch the original series.